Hi, this is the video for interpreting poetic devices for the poem To You by Langston Hughes. I may spend a little more time explaining this poem because on Monday I was absent from school and I want to make sure that the students who didn't do it with me truly understand it. There are several words in this poem that could be challenging to us. So you're going to need two things. You need your interpreting poetic devices packet. We will be using the back side, the very last page for this poem. You also need your textbook. And we're going to take a look at the poem To You, which is on page 203. Okay, so let's read the poem first. See, to you, to sit and dream, to sit and read, to sit and learn about the world outside our world of here and now, our problem world. To dream of vast horizons of the soul through dreams made whole, unfettered, free. Help me, all you who are dreamers too. Help me to make our world anew. I reach out my dreams to you. All right, so I want to kind of go line by line for a little bit before we even decide what we're going to put down into our chart. So we have our poet, to sit and dream, to sit and read, to sit and learn about the world outside of our world of here and now. So we kind of get this imaginary, oh, how wonderful to dream about things, to read about how things can be, and to learn about it, to get out of any of our problems, so out of our problem world. So he's hoping to make some changes, perhaps. To dream of vast horizons of the soul, anything our hearts desire, to be able to hope for those things through dreams made whole. Now, here's the line I want to talk about: unfettered free. What does the word fettered mean? Do you know? Typically we don't, but fettered means like chained. Okay, so if someone is chained, they're in captivity. But unfettered now means that they're unchained, right? Free. So we have that emphasis side by side. I'm unchained, I am free, help me. There's that the dash there. If he's unfettered and free, why does he need help? So we're still trying to make these dreams whole, correct? So he's dreaming these things. So even though maybe he does not have actual shackles on like a slave might, there are still restrictions in place. His dreams haven't been made whole yet. Help me to be completely free, right? All you who are dreamers too, help me to make our world anew. So he's asking us, this poem is to us, to you, okay? To you. Help him dream these dreams and make them come true. Help us make a new world, get rid of all of our problems. He's reaching those dreams out to us so that we can join in with that. Okay, I don't know how well I helped to explain it, and there's lots of ways to interpret. However, I don't know how much you read before the poem, and I had just been talking about Langston Hughes a little bit with the 8th graders as well. He wrote mostly in the 1920s during the Harlem Renaissance. And if you know anything, I mean, that's 100 years ago, okay? The Civil War occurred in the 1860s. So the end of the 1860s was when African Americans or the slaves were freed, right? So it's maybe 40 years later. The world certainly was not perfect for him. We know 140 years later, the world is still not perfect. So this poem still applies today. You know, how can we make these dreams of theirs come true? All right, so I'm off of my little pedestal there, but let's take a look at the worksheet. It looks a little different than the ones that we've done because there's not as much to it. Oh, let me scroll down. There it is. Okay, so let's put our title of the poem in. Remember that it goes inside quotation marks, poems go in quotations. So To You, and this is by Langston Hughes, who is an African-American poet who wrote during the 1920s. I'm not sure the copyright on this one in particular. So we don't have any figurative language to find in this poem. It is also a free verse. There wasn't any rhyme. If it did rhyme, it just kind of fit that way. So what we're focusing on are two things in particular: words or phrases, and we're going to find at least 2 words or phrases that stand out, and then punctuation. And the first one that I really do want you to use is this unfettered free. Okay. It sounds like alliteration, but because of that it doesn't truly count, but that emphasis within there. So I do need to double check the line number here. Not going to show up on yours, but this is line 7. So you should still be able to see that. So line 7. Now you need to take a minute, go through what I had explained there. So remember that fettered means to be chained, unfettered, you're unchained, and then free. And why would he include this in there? What importance does this have in this particular poem? Okay. The second example here, I'm going to let you pick whatever words or phrases stand out to you the most and help you understand what the poet is really saying to you. Once you have your words or phrases, your line and what it represents, so pause that and then come back and join me to talk about punctuation. Okay, so we see a few things with the punctuation. Once again, the typical commas and periods at the ends of lines or sentences, but the ones that are different that stand out, we see multiple dashes. Okay, we see outside of our world of here and now, dash, our problem world, dash, really setting apart our problem world. Okay, the other dash is in between that unfettered free, help me, and then we see an exclamation point at the end, help me, right? He really wants that help. So I'm going to encourage you to use the dashes and the exclamation point. I'm going to use, so lines 3 and 4, and start with the dashes, and I'm going to put it in there. So we see dash, and I'm going to put the words in between it, our problem world dash, whoops, dash. And above it, I'll just write that it's the dash I'm emphasizing. And this was lines 3 and 4. Now you need to explain it. What does it mean? What is the purpose of this? So I would have some kind of idea that these dashes are setting apart this idea of our problem world and really helping to emphasize that he's saying our world has problems, something along those lines. And then the second one, we had both the dash, we had the unfettered free again, with a dash, help me, exclamation mark. So this time though, we're focusing on the exclamation mark. And this is line 7 again, same as up above. And I want you to explain, why do you think he used this exclamation mark within here? What is he really saying? You know, help me fix this problem world. Help me figure out how we can make this world better. Okay. And then this last one again, you decide, what do you think is the main message of the poem? The theme is something we can learn from it. How can we apply it to our lives? Something important about life that we can learn from the poem. And it's kind of like a moral. So don't summarize, don't give me a topic, make sure you're giving me the lesson, okay? And once you're done with that, if you've done all the other videos, you should be done with this packet. Just double check that your front page is completed, because a few of us that read the pasture, particularly my Monday group, we did not finish. So you need to make sure that you finish this and complete the main message. And unfortunately, I'm going to have you do that on your own. Now that you've done so many others, you probably have the feel for it and are able to complete that. All right, I'll see you in school soon.